Elijah, Jeff Ferraro with the West Coast Conference. Just talk about what this game in this setting, this situation means to you guys.
It means everything. It took a lot of work. It took a lot of work, but I honestly just want to thank God for everything, honestly. Like, this is unreal, and it's everything I ever imagined from the beginning of the year. We knew what we had. We knew what we had as a team, and Coach pointed us in the right direction. We knew we'd be here. But really, it's amazing. I don't even know. I'm lost for words.
Can you say something about how Sosh played for you guys?
Unreal. That's all I can say. Unreal. He's amazing. And like we keep saying, everybody just keep improving. Like, everybody, not just him, but he played unreal today.
Sosh, what did this feel like for you? And again, what does this mean to your team in terms of what you want to do this year?
It's like we just achieved a history for the school. As you know, we haven't been to the March Madness since 1996, but we're coming for the championship. You know, we are not satisfied of just getting to the March Madness. We want to win it all, and I believe that this group of guys with the coaches and the whole guys in the staff, like, we have something special, and we can achieve like big things this year.
You've had some moments this year, but on this stage to play as well as you did, what did that feel like?
It feels good. You know, everybody wants to play on the big stage, having a good game. So I was just waiting for my moment to come. We have a pretty deep team, so a lot of talented guys. So everybody has their moments throughout the year, and we don't just rely on one guy, and that's our biggest strength. So today was my moment, and I took it.
Questions for the student athletes?
Zach Farmer, unofficial WCC Hoops podcast. For either one of you, just kind of talk about the physicality of this game, because this one went back and forth all night long, and to kind of have that kind of perseverance and to be able to kind of stay steady late in that game. Kind of, what were the conversations in the huddle, and how did you guys be able to kind of overcome a game in this environment and obviously come out with a big win?
Well, we knew that the other team was very physical. We knew what type of team that they had and how strong they played, but during timeouts and everything, we stayed together. Even like free throws, we stayed together, and that's really what brought us to the win. Like, we were staying together in all those moments when they win our runs and we win our runs. We knew we had to stay together as a team, and it was amazing. The coaches helped us, pointed us in the right direction, and it was just a team effort. We're sitting here right now, but it should be the whole team here, because it was a team effort that got us the win.
Sasha, you guys were up by 2, and clock was running down with under 20 seconds to go, and you look like you're trying to figure out what to do with the ball, and you kept stepping backwards, and all of a sudden you fired up something that Steph Curry might do. Can you just take me through that sequence and how it felt? Did you know it was going in?
Yeah, that's what the coach asked me. Did you know it was going in? I was like, yeah. I'm pretty confident in those moments. I'm not afraid to fail, you know. I would like to take the shots in the big moments, and I mean, sometimes that's just a game of basketball. Against Arizona State, I had a similar shot for a tie the game and go to overtime, but I missed it. So I knew that I'll make it the next time, and I made it today.
Were you thinking you were going to end up taking the shot, or were you looking for a teammate?
So the play was not drawn for me, but it didn't happen. So I just took the ball, and I knew I had to make something up, and that's what I was like, trying to find the perfect spot for me to shoot it, and I did.
Question on the right.
Sam Canales, Santa Clara Student Radio. For either of you guys, your mental toughness really showed today, I thought, especially on some of the turnovers that you guys lost out of bounds that were pretty in your control. In other games, I think, for example, the Gonzaga game at home earlier this year, those have kind of gotten away from you. Kind of, what was kind of the difference today for you guys?
We just knew, like, some of the, like, careless turnovers we had. It was we were just playing so hard. You know, like, when you're playing hard and you have, like, careless turnovers, like, it hurts, but, like, you know you're playing your butt off, so it doesn't really matter. You know, like, our coach does a great job of, like, when we make a mistake, like, they don't, like, get on us. They help us, like, bring us more confidence and bring us more energy, and that's what, like I said earlier, like, we're just such a team. Like, I love these guys, I love the coaches, and they really help us in those moments where it feels like, you know, there's a lot of weight on our shoulders, and we might have a mistake, but they're there with us, and they help us.
Yeah, we're also a pretty young team. Like, we had a new team, young guys, most of us being redshirts, and like, we haven't had the experience to play in the big games in a full crowd, away games. So you're just like growing pains, you know, like learn from the losses, learn from the mistakes, and be ready for the final phase of the season. You know, so yeah.
Any other questions for the student?
Do one more. Obviously, the crowd was pretty in the Gales' favor today. You did have some Santa Clara fans, though, there that got loud for you guys. How did that impact you guys during the game, especially when you guys got to pump them up when you were doing well?
Yeah.
Well, it's amazing. You know, Santa Clara fans are some real fans, and it don't matter if the whole stadium is filled up with the other guys. It doesn't matter. We know who our people are, and that's all we need. You know, that's all we need.
A reminder for those on Zoom to use the raised hand function, and we'll be able to unmute you. You can go ahead on the left.
Hi, Nina Glick, Santa Clara Student Newspaper. What's your message to the students back home that we're watching?
Support us. If you can come get a flight to Las Vegas and come support us. The president's here, so you know, maybe you can excuse them from missing school tomorrow, but we would definitely need support because I've seen a packed gym of all Gonzaga fans. So we would appreciate, you know, like if more students come, like Gonzaga came. So yeah.
But if they can't come, just tune in. You know, all little support matters. Everything matters.
Any other questions for the student athletes? Student athletes, you're free to go. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
We'll go ahead and start with questions for Coach up front.
Herb, first of all, can you introduce us to your guest?
Yeah, this is my grandson Ford. He made the trip from Arizona to be here for the tournament, and he's a basketball player himself.
Did you like the game, Ford?
Yeah.
Herb, can you just talk about your team's composure in a setting that they're maybe haven't been in a lot? I mean, you've played St. Mary's and Gonzaga all the time in your conference, but in this setting with so much on the line and to be able to deliver like they did.
Our team, in their own way, has exhibited composure along the journey. They're a team who maintains a very even keel. They don't get carried away too much when things go in our favor, nor do they become down in the dumps when they don't. And tonight was probably a reflection of that habit built through the year, notwithstanding how many people are at a game.
And are you trying to bring Sash out of his shell a little bit and get some personality from him?
You know, one thing this team is not short on, I assure you, is personality. You know, if somehow there was a measuring tape for that, would be among the nation's elite.
Can you talk about that shot he took with
Yeah.
about 12 seconds to go?
And how about the few preceding it? I mean, he obviously got going, uncharacteristically missed a few free throws. I guess those were too easy because he made a number of threes that were very difficult shots and obviously gave us the margin we needed ultimately.
The question that your players already seem to answer, but I don't know if you will. Do you think you're in?
It doesn't really matter what I think. I've come to learn. Whether I'm at home or, you know, trying to decide who's in the tournament. Let's just play tomorrow's game. That's been our message all along. You know, we don't try to handicap the situation. We don't subscribe to bracketologists. We just try to improve our rebounding.
Go ahead on the right.
Amy Elizabeth, KSU sports broadcasting student. First, congratulations, 600th win. And also, what is this going to look like tomorrow? What are you going to change? What are you going to keep the same?
Well, obviously, there's just not a great deal of time to prepare or plan. So you're not going to see, I don't think, either team reinvent themselves, especially us, by the time we get out of here, get to bed, and because it takes so long to wind down, right? Like you don't just hit the pillow and fall asleep. And so before we know it, we're going to be tipping off tomorrow. So tomorrow will be a game more of us relying on our habits than it will be some intricate preparation or game planning. You know, we'll do as much as we can in the abbreviated period we have, as I'm sure they will. But at this point, when you're playing a third consecutive game at this level of intensity, 3 days, the most important thing we could do to prepare is to get hydrated, get rest, and come out and give it everything we have.
Question on the left.
Coach Sendek, Rocco Miller, congratulations tonight. First question is about the matchup tonight. I was at the game at St. Mary's. I thought two things. Foul trouble was a big factor in that game, and the middle eight of the game where they closed the first half strong and just really blew it out, started the second. Was either of those a point of emphasis, just trying your best not to foul? And then, yeah.
No, not really. We don't really talk about not fouling. If you go out trying not to foul, I think sometimes you foul even more because when you do things tentatively, it usually doesn't yield a good outcome. And so fouling's part of the game. Sometimes it's a good call, sometimes it isn't. But we want our team to play aggressively, assertively, with confidence, and so we don't try to rein them in and introduce, timid play.
Yeah, does that help explain the paint points tonight, 32-22 in favor of the Broncos against one of the biggest teams in the country?
Yeah, the paint is a sacred area on both ends of the floor for both teams. If you could prevent other teams from getting there and you can get there yourself, it usually favors you.
And my last question on the approach to the matchup, just was there any thought that if you didn't win tonight that it could be over, or was that not really discussed?
Yeah, I can't speak for everybody, but for my own personal sanity, I can't go into those rooms because it changes hourly. Everybody has an opinion. Obviously, on Selection Sunday, every year somebody is devastated and crushed by not getting in, and whomever does get a bid is overjoyed. But to listen to every pundit, bracketologist, to try to watch every game and try to figure out how that helps you, that would be such a distraction from doing the job you have and trying to control what you can control.
Question on the right.
Hey, Coach. I think third straight year now that I've been here with you. Nice to be in the first press conference this time instead of the second one after a win. I feel like the biggest difference for this team this year has been kind of your approach to how you play defense. Can you talk a little bit about how the team played defense today against a Gales team that can be really hard to match up against?
First, let me just say this, and I mean this sincerely. I said this all week, after our last loss to St. Mary's. I really detest comparison, right? Because to compare, you necessarily have to elevate one over another. But that's not the intention of what I'm about to say. What Randy has done at St. Mary's is as remarkable and as incredible as any job that's been done in men's college basketball in the last 30 years. And we really need to pause and think about that and appreciate it. With where they started 30 years ago and where they are today, and the consistency is just utterly remarkable. They're annually a top 20 program in the country. And I stand in awe. I really do. And try to learn, as much as we can by playing them, by watching tape. I'd love to be a fly in the wall sometimes because in every facet, their ability to evaluate, their ability to recruit, their ability to teach, to get guys to accept roles, even roles that aren't always glamorous, is just remarkable.
Final question on the left.
Thomas Dunn, unofficial WC Hoops podcast. Coach, within the development and your year-over-year progress, you've been very focused on the then and now. The current then and now is the first WCC tournament final since, I believe, 2007. How do you contextualize the journey of this specific team in achieving that specific feat?
Yeah, I haven't got to contextualizing much, but I will say this. I'm very fond of an old Chinese proverb that says, "When you drink the water, remember who dug the well." And when you have moments like right now, and obviously we're on cloud nine, it's important to pause and think about how many shoulders we stand on and how many different people, unknown oftentimes, right, most times, that helped make this possible. right? And it goes back to our predecessors, guys like Coach Williams and Coach Davey and all the great players, our university support with President Sullivan, the trustees, Heather, our athletics director, and our athletics department. I mean, there's just countless people that make it possible, and I think that's easily overlooked. But I could tell you, now, building the fourth program and being a part of two others before I became a head coach, it really does take everybody. And if you think otherwise, boy, I couldn't disagree with you more.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, everybody.